All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol IDEX, Ideanomics Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back. And as we jump into this chart, I just want to quickly announce that I have a Twitter account now. The link is down below in the description. And stay tuned till the end of this video because I have a short recap on the ticker symbols we've talked about in previous videos, such as WBA, LXRX, ALGM, and also WISH, WISH. So stay tuned for that. I do a small recap on how they've been moving and what to expect moving forward. You definitely want to know more information on that if you've been watching these ticker symbols and adding them to your watch list. And if you haven't, you definitely want to. Now, here we are with IDEX, Ideanomics Inc. And it has had a run. Now it's up all the way to 335 right now currently, and it reached highs of about almost $3.70, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. Now, the highest point this stock has reached in this very volatile candlestick previously when it was hitting this run was up here at 388. That's the most important resistance level to break through, and the one before that is 372. And we broke through a few of them, right? And then the volatility has brought it right back down. And the one that it really needs to break through right now in the short term is 337 and stay above it. Now, this was a great run here for IDEX, but we want to watch this closely and how it's going to react moving forward. Is it going to consolidate up here, or are the bears going to appear and bring this one back down? Because the point of having a run and this catalyst is to hold itself up at newer highs, as it did previously from where it was down at the $2 mark, ran up, came back a little bit down, then it had a big run, and it had been in a bearish trajectory for some time. We talked about the lows here that we needed to watch very carefully, 270, and if that got broken through, this could continue downwards, and it brought itself back up from there. Now, we currently are back in an area where if this consolidates up here, it will be a healthy and good sign moving forward for this to stay in this area, hold itself up till the next catalyst. That's what we want to watch for, and that's what we want to keep in mind moving forward with IDEX. I know there's a lot of people that have actually said, hey, I got in this stock, I broke even, I got out, or I took my small profit, I got out, or I took the small loss, and instead of holding any longer, I got out. Then there's also those of you that are very bullish, seeing this one upwards to 5x or 10x in the future. I've even seen larger amounts, and I've seen different analysis out there. I've seen different articles as well. I want to ask you guys as the investors, how do you truly feel about IDEX? Those of you that are still holding strong and moving forward, what you think about the future of the company as a whole. But I personally believe there's potential. It's just, it gets a little rocky sometimes when you see these runs and then it almost loses all of it. And what we were looking for was to see how it's reacted in the previous times that it's ran up. Now, this one's been a little bit different. This one has actually fallen back down and ran right back up almost to those highs. And it didn't do that in the previous ones exactly like we see it here. So it's going to be important to watch it now moving forward. Is this going to have that trajectory in a downward trend, or could this consolidate and continue to benefit from the EV sector growing and all the news and innovation according to what I've seen that IDEX is onto and moving forward going to do? So that is something that we need to question and think about moving forward. So I look forward to seeing your guys' thoughts on that. So the 50-day moving average is 298. As long as we're above it, we're in bullish territory. The moment we're below it, we're in bearish territory. The first support level in bearish territory, if it gets crossed, is 281. If the 50-day moving average gets crossed, 281 is your first support level to watch and see if the bulls try to reappear, or are the bears dominating if they cross that and get deeper into bearish territory. But before worrying about any of those numbers, the first support level is up here at 321. We're currently at 335. if 321 gets crossed, you definitely want to see how this stock is doing between support and the 50-day moving average. If the bulls are trying to reappear in this bullish territory, or are the bears tearing this one down fairly fast, getting closer to the 50-day moving average and working their way to cross it and end up in bearish territory. So 321 is going to be very important to watch. Even though this is all bullish territory, you want to watch this closely as it continues to play out and how it continues to move in the downward direction, or if the bulls reappear to bring it back up. Now, our resistance level, super important for the bulls to break through, and I want to emphasize this. They need to break through this resistance to go ahead and maintain this momentum, pull further away from the 50-day moving average, and work their way up to newer highs and new resistance levels. And that resistance level is 364. That needs to be turned into a support by the bulls, and they need to break through it and pull away from it to reach newer highs and new resistance levels and continue this upward trajectory. If they do not cross 364, right, and the bulls are trying to bring it up, but they can, and it just kind of hangs out sideways, and the 50-day moving average will continue to move. And if it does not get crossed, the 50-day moving average at some point will cross the stock's price, end up above it. The stock price will be below it, giving leverage to the bears. And excuse my terrible drawing. This is just to go ahead and illustrate so you guys can visualize how important it is to break through 364 for the bulls and continue their momentum to pull further away from the 50-day moving average and continue to break through new resistance levels. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. So stay tuned, guys, for the recap on these ticker symbols we've talked about in previous videos. We're going to talk about how they've done and what to expect moving forward. So stay tuned for that information. So let's do a quick recap here on some of the stocks that I've talked about towards the end of these videos. I have many more stocks to continue to share with you guys moving forward, and also as I continue to do my due diligence and research, and as I come across them and I see consolidations and so forth. So let's start off with the first one that we've talked about this week. Well, the beginning of this week and ending of last week, and it was WBA. We've talked about it since it was at 42.90. That's when I did the video talking about it. It was sitting around this area, and from that point forward we can see how this week has been, and I think that there's still more room here. We definitely want to watch it closely due to the fact that it has been in a bullish run for some time. We need to see how long it's going to last, and also watch closely any pullbacks that this stock has moving forward. Now, the other one is ALGM. It was under the radar, and it still pretty much is. When you go ahead and look at their chart, their volume is pretty low. It doesn't even reach 1 million in volume, but it has been growing, and I've talked about it since it was way back here at around 24.90-ish. It was around this area right here. It was at the beginning, towards the middle of December. I'm not sure exactly what point it was at, but it was at 24.90 when I did the video, and when I actually mentioned it was earlier this week. And here we are seeing how it's been reacting moving forward. It kind of dipped. It was having a nice pullback, and consolidation was already broken through, so this was a really good sign, and I started talking about it to let more people know about it. Now, I did a full video on it, so a lot of people probably missed it and overlooked it. Came back to look at the chart. The chart was showing signs of moving upwards and that there's great potential and possibilities here. And the fact that ALGM, a lot of analysts had a price target that already had broken through. Like it was around 20 something and some change. It was like $28, $29. And it broke through it, reaching 31. And I had stated at the beginning of this week, as it was pulling back, that analysts were probably going to have to upgrade their price target, pushing this one up further due to the fact of the signs and what this stock is showing. Now, this is a great innovative stock. It's really going to do well with the EV sector growing, and I believe that there's room here still for this one. Now, the other one that I had shared with you guys was LXRX. Now, this one was a much more speculative play. I had stated that there was a nice consolidation forming as we saw at the beginning of the week. I mentioned it yesterday and the day before, not actually yesterday, the day before yesterday, and I was already seeing a healthy sign of holding itself up. I had stated that up towards Thursday or the end of this week, we were going to see a catalyst due to the big event. And here we are seeing it run from 380s all the way up to 940, dipping back down to 819. This could consolidate up here. I said this is a speculative play. We need to see how it ends the week, how it starts next week, and it can continue to grow, no doubt. But there's a lot of hype and speculation around it due to the fact of the catalyst that was coming up. And here we are seeing that happen. Now, the last one I stated was yesterday's video, and I mixed that up with LXRX. I talked about this 2 days ago, and here we are with Wish. Wish is one that I had stated I wish I'd found earlier. I remembered it was going to IPO, completely forgot about it, caught up with so many other ticker symbols, so much other research last month, and it dipped down. If I would have known this, I would have probably taken a shot at it, and I caught it up here around the beginning of this week, right? So it was dipping, and as soon as I was going to get ready to talk to you guys about it and stuff, I was like, man, it's dipping. Let's watch this closely. The next day it ran. I said, okay, let's see if there's some consolidation. It ran again. I talked about it yesterday, and here we are seeing it run. So we still need to watch this closely, how it continues to play out, because of the fact that stocks like these have great upward potential. We need to see how the pullbacks are, or if this would consolidate somewhere up here or somewhere down here. Because remember, it came from down here, ran up to here, held itself up, and ran again. So if it consolidates up here, healthy sign for the next run until there's more speculation or hype or some catalyst to make it continue, or pull back down to around this area and consolidate up here. That will show signs of healthiness as well moving forward in the long term, because it didn't just destroy all these gains and go back down to the 19 or under $20. So big deal here with this one. I hope that you guys have found these ticker symbols helpful and informative. I look forward to seeing your guys' thoughts down below. Any of you guys that have been watching them, how do you feel about them? And also, if you learned something new and you are a first-time viewer and you've never came across this channel, subscribe to continue to get information like this and see what the important cues are based off the charts for the next trading day. Don't forget to share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, let's make some money.